Everyone, Chris and Céline here with another episode of Georgia Living. We've got a great lineup today. Family updates, back to school tips, some Big East Cobb news, and the full slate of high school football opening this weekend. Plus, special treat today, we've got a local history spotlight that you're not going to want to miss. And of course, our real estate market snapshot. This is Georgia Living.
Before we jump in, hit subscribe on YouTube and make us your favorite podcast because we're that good.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's start. Céline, what's been going on in our own house lately? Because it's been a busy start to the school year.
Yeah, so getting into that routine has been a godsend. I don't think it's just us. I think it's a lot of people, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have structure. It's nice to not entertain these little children 24/7 because they get really bored. But I've been cooking a lot, and last night I made choux puff pastries.
Ooh.
CHOUX. And amazing. I didn't think I could make it at home, but it's this wonderful little French pastry with custard inside, and it's just the right amount of crunchiness on the outside and then the gooiness of the custard on the inside, and I'm getting hungry.
Oh, so good. So if you're craving something like this, I mean, this is one of the best puff pastries I've ever had in my life, and you were recreating something that you can actually go out and buy here locally at Beard Papa. Mm-hmm. Beard Papa is a Japanese puff pastry company. We have a few of them, one in Johns Creek, there's one in Sandy Springs, and if you can get them fresh and hot, oh, they're so good. We originally discovered them in Japan in like
Tokyo,
in 2005 when we got a chance to go there. Holy moly, they're here. You can get them. If you haven't tried them already, definitely go to Beard Papa and pick up a half a dozen or a dozen. Just get a dozen because you're going to eat
They
two.
don't taste as good as homemade does, though.
No, they
Right?
don't.
Because that has the taste of labor in it and love and deliciousness.
It also has the taste of your homemade vanilla bean extract that has been in constant brewing for over 10 years.
It's been 10?
Yeah, you started that when we were in Ackworth.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
got a legacy. It's a legacy vanilla extract.
it is. Maybe we can get you to share that on one of our upcoming episodes.
There's nothing to share. It's just you stick a whole bunch of vanilla beans that are split open into a vodka bottle and voila.
And then as it drains, you refill it with vodka.
Yeah.
And I think you've topped it off with vanilla beans once in the 10 years. Added some fresh ones to it. But yeah. It's great to keep and definitely makes a big difference over the store-bought stuff.
You've also been doing some things too. Fixing our car.
Yep.
But you've been going into mountain biking territory.
Yes. So with the start of the school year, middle school is now part of the Soap Creek mountain biking team. So James has joined that. He's riding for the Pope Greyhounds. So he is very excited. We just did a big upgrade on his bike, got him a dual suspension mountain bike. And, while he's doing that, gives me a chance to do a little bit more exercise. So I picked up one off of Marketplace yesterday, and I'm excited to get back on a bike and ride for a bit.
You know the dog's going to be really jealous that you went without him.
Well, I took the dog the first time, and he was so excited. He is a pointer, so we start walking down the trail for Soap Creek while they're out riding their bikes, and he starts pointing off the trail, and lo and behold, we find this juvenile, I think it was a red-tailed hawk.
Juvenile. I think it was just a full red-tailed hawk.
It was just sitting on I never see them sitting on the ground.
You caught in the middle of doing something, and he looked just as surprised as you did.
Maybe he had a kill down there. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But it was just off to the side, staring. It was probably 15 feet off the trail in the brush. Big hawk just sitting on the ground staring at the dog while the dog stared at him. It's fun stuff. stuff. But, not only the mountain biking team, but we're also dealing with the start of band, because in middle school, we are now the proud parents of an upcoming saxophone star. So we're excited to be part of that and to take part of everything that's happening in the middle school life. But also we have 2 in elementary school as well that are still kind of going through the ropes. And last weekend we had a great time. We got a chance to check out.
Hold on. Do you remember, because we both went to Cobb County schools.
Yeah.
Do you remember doing this band tryout thing?
Oh, God, no.
I do, because I remember going in to band and then trying as hard as I could, but I couldn't get that reed to, the instruments, the wind instruments. That was not my thing. I mean, I couldn't understand.
So I was thinking about that the other day because, I thought that I did 6th grade band, but actually I didn't. I stopped at 5th grade. We had musical.
You had mini band?
In Massachusetts, where I went to school, we had a music room, and we actually learned to play real instruments. So when I was younger, I did piano lessons and had a keyboard, and hated it. ADHD and I didn't get diagnosed with that until I was in my 30s, but my parents wanted me to play an instrument, so I took some lessons, hated it. Played in our 4th grade and 5th grade music room and played the keyboard a little bit. I think the most I got was like chopsticks. It's the only thing I remember. But I
don't know how to play chopsticks.
I was thoroughly done with an instrument. No, the song chopstick. Yeah. So I was thoroughly done for 6th grade and just didn't do band. I did chorus, and that was the extent of my musical abilities, which I did not have a career lined out for me in the arts. But, as far as our family goes, we also had a great weekend. We got to check out a new location here.
I feel like we've been in Beaufort a lot lately.
We have been in Beaufort a lot lately.
This was the Gwinnett Environmental Center. What was its name?
You're asking me on the spot, and I don't have it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
it was this really cool building where we had this meeting, and it is LEED certified. The roof is organic. It's got grass growing on the top, and it's got all these rain cistern things, I think, the collection areas. And it had a whole bunch of ponds everywhere. It educated us about wetlands and the history of the Gwinnett area, especially when it comes to waterways. There were a lot of little turtles just kind of walking around, and on the other side of the parking lot of this place, it was the Gwinnett Heritage.
The Gwinnett Environmental and Heritage Center.
Yes, that's the real name. So it is right off of which highway?
It's Cleanwater Drive in Beaufort. It's right off of 85, and so it's about 5 minutes away from Mala, Georgia, basically.
It is open to the public, and you do have to reserve the rooms, and I do believe that there's a fee associated with that. But if you want to go, I did see some little kid activities too, like those foam blocks in the play area. We're past that age now, but I did notice that.
Yeah.
And a lot of interactive stuff too.
Tons of interactive stuff. They have like a little museum in there, meeting space. We were there for our children. It was the state workshop for the children of the American Revolution, so they're involved in CAR. So we had our state workshop. And then after the workshop was completed, we went to the other side of the parking lot where there's Treetop Quest. And this is a ropes course and zip line and adventure kind of obstacle course up there. They have all different skill levels. They have small ones, practice courses for little kids to get in, and then starting at age 7, they can do the full courses. I think the level 1, 2, and 3 can be done with a parent, and then for age 12 and up, you have level 4 and level 5, which was a lot of fun. Some technical obstacles, lots of team building that we could work on. James and I did the level 4 together, and then we all did the level 2s, which was a ton of fun, watching the kids clip themselves in and just take responsibility for their own safety. It was interesting to watch.
That's the part that I really like. So it felt like Swiss Family Robinson, but Swiss Family Evans.
Oh, yeah.
And we were I'm so glad this is in the trees, though, because it's hot in Georgia, y'all.
It was at least 15 degrees cooler on the course than it was in the parking lot.
So you're up in the trees. So if you've ever daydreamed about, wonder what it's like being up there, you can tell by being up there with your kids. I've got to say, though, that this was a great adult experience, too, because we had all of our children from age 7 to 12, and we had them interspersed between us. You can't back up. You only way forward is forward.
Yeah, because you've got other people clipped in behind you, and they can't reverse on the course.
No, there's no. So I drew courage from them, and they drew courage from me, and we all just kind of went, and it was this nice learning experience, and the fact that they knew that they can do it too, even though their mother's scared.
Oh, yeah. Heights are not your thing.
No. At the very end, I told them, hey, do you want to know a secret? I hate heights. That kind of took them by surprise because, they learned that I was up there despite hating heights, which I think is a healthy fear, keeping alive, right?
Oh, yeah. You were freaked out when we did the Ferris wheel in Atlanta.
But I wasn't strapped in. That's the difference.
You were in a enclosed...
It's still, I don't know. My brain flips out.
You felt better being strapped into a steel line?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
Well, the kids had a lot of fun. It was an exhausting day. They slept really well afterwards. It was no big deal getting them to go to bed.
Go home.
No, they didn't. It was, they actually got upset at us because we left after 2 hours.
2.5.
2.5 hours, yeah. We spent a good bit of time on that course.
Yeah.
So it was a great time. If you go, highly recommend you either bring gloves or buy a set of gloves that are optional. They're about $5 a pair. Great family adventure. It's perfect to get out on a weekend. Lots of people there, and the staff was fantastic. They were all climbers. They make sure everybody's harnessed properly, and they'll give you some instruction before you do the course so you can figure out kind of the mechanisms involved.
They looked outdoorsy.
Yeah, definitely. They knew what they were doing. But we've got a lot to balance right now between school and activity and work. So speaking of balancing, so between all of this time of year can be challenging for scheduling any family. What are some great tips that can help create that routine to get back into this habit of school life? Because the kids just got off of this whole break where they're unrestricted and unscheduled, so it can be tough sometimes.
I have some pointers, but let's be real. This is better said than done. Parents understand this, that sometimes it goes in one ear out the other. So keep bedtimes and wake up routines constant and consistent.
Yeah.
So not constant, but consistent. Make sure that if you say 9, you try to stick to 9 unless it's a really wonky day. Prep clothes, lunches, and things like that the day before. Not everyone does that, but it could add a lot of stress in the morning if you do have to do those things, and they melt down with that. Say somebody's missing a sock or a pair isn't, I think they've gotten over that, though. They just go to school with mismatched socks. They're like, whatever.
Yeah, because we try and keep their daily lives scheduled and organized, but their room is anything but organized.
I don't think any kids is at that age.
Well, no. Not if you have 3 of them and you're not doing it yourself.
I've never tried this before, but use visual schedules like a dry erase board. I don't feel like my kids would, at this age, take the time to look at a schedule.
No, but you do have a dry erase calendar on the fridge, and the kids do look at that. They do. Yeah, they check it, and they're like, what are we doing? And like, what's going on this weekend? And they'll look at what we have planned for the family. And
then 5-minute timers to ease transitions.
I do that.
Yeah.
I don't do a timer, but I will go and say, hey, here's a 5-minute warning. You've got, 5 minutes left on your game. You've got, 5 minutes left until we're going to get ready for bed.
Well, it's either do you want to go to bed now or do you want 5 minutes?
Or you can, you do that. I like to give them that warning and just say, hey, it's 5 minutes, because if trial and error, I have learned that I cannot tell a kid, hey, stop what you're doing now, and not have some sort of pushback and emotional outrage that I have just interrupted their life. So as they're getting autonomy and independence, we've got to give them those warnings within the schedule. It makes things a lot smoother.
So small rewards for sticking to routines. We're not talking about bribery, guys. And not talking about feeding them like little pebbles of candy or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't use food as rewards.
No. And then Sunday family check-ins to plan the week. I feel like we do this every night when we ask about their day, and then we just kind of discuss what's going on. So we do this daily, but if you don't have family meals like we do, then maybe a Sunday check-in would be really helpful.
Well, as they get older, too. As they get older and have more autonomy, we won't need to check in every single day. Mm-hmm. But right now, we're still dealing with that, and we are a very ADHD family, so a lot of things can be forgotten if we don't constantly do that every day.
I remind you.
You remind me every day, and I remind both of our kids with ADHD every day, sometimes 6 or 7 times a day. We had Monday, we asked James to grab applications for some after-school activities and some leadership programs. Absolutely forgot. I asked him 4 times, and then we had that talk the night of and said, tomorrow you have to do this. What's the first thing you're doing in the morning? And just had him say it and recite it over and over again. So we knew it stuck. So sometimes you got to do that, but
it's an improvement from last year. So.
Oh yeah, and I mean we have great kids, so they really trying to do things and level up.
So if you've got a favorite back to school tip that we haven't said any at all here, leave us a message. We'd like to hear your ideas because we're all trial and erroring it.
Yeah, we'd love to share some of your ideas on a future episode. And speaking of school, we've got some exciting news to celebrate here in East Cobb.
Yeah, so congratulations to Amanda Dillard. She is from Pope High School, and she is named Cobb County District Teacher of the Year. Huge deal, because I think that this is the one where you go to the square and then you get your hand printed.
It is. Yeah. And they had a surprise pep rally with Superintendent Chris Ragsdale coming and Principal Matthew Bradford over at Pope High School. Her husband and kids joined her with flowers, recognized her for her dedication as a special education teacher she focuses a lot on autism, ADHD, learning disabilities. Mm-hmm. Now she's going to represent Cobb in the Georgia Teacher of the Year competition. And there's a whole article in the MDJ out this morning on her. So congratulations, Amanda. That's fantastic work. Way to represent our county and way to help our children every day.
So I remember when I was in high school in the 2000s, my teacher, Betsy Bunty, was the Teacher of the Year. And we were part of the small group that got to go to the square and see her hands imprinted. So if anyone is near Glover Park at the square, go to one side. It's the side where it's across, it's not the side of the courthouse, but it's the other side across from the courthouse. I don't know what name that is.
It's the side that Marietta Proper is on, that restaurant.
Where the jeweler used to be. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And so take a look at all the fabulous names on there. You might recognize some if you actually attended here. If not, then keep them in mind. Some of them are still around. So it's a great place to be.
It sure is. So from celebrating classroom achievements to cheering under the Friday night lights, football season in Georgia is officially here, y'all. And we're starting out with high school football. This weekend is a big weekend for that. The Corky Kell Classic is taking place tonight, Wednesday, August 13th. That's going to have Prince Avenue Christian School versus Callaway at 4:30. And then the Kell Longhorns are playing South Paulding at 8 p.m. So it's a doubleheader. And then Saturday, at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we have a kickoff with Walton, our East Cobb Walton versus McEachern, and that's going to be 4 p.m. at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then Friday night, we're kicking off all the other schools. So we've got Adairsville at Allatoona.
Well, that's 7:30 kickoff for the regular.
Yes.
Friday night.
Yes. So check your local schools for tickets. But Adairsville is at Allatoona, Campbell at Chapel Hill, Harrison at Kennesaw Mountain, Mount View at Hillgrove, Lassiter at Midtown. Archer is at North Cobb. Banneker is at Osborne. Locust Grove is at Pebblebrook. Pope is at Cambridge. South Forsyth is at South Cobb. Sprayberry is at Alexander, and Wheeler is playing at North Forsyth. So great lineup for a first weekend of high school football, and I know we're all excited for Georgia football to be back here shortly.
I wonder why they do this, because this isn't all the schools are kind of far away from each other here on this entire list.
The first week is not always a like in the same division. Yeah, like they're not playing all in the same league in the same division. So they have a lot of out of conference games for the first week because the teams are still kind of getting their footing, and this is the first time that a lot of them are playing. I know last week Osborne had a preseason game with Marietta High School. I got to meet the new Marietta High School coach at our Kiwanis lunch last week, and boy, are they in good hands. He's come from Florida and really has a background in ministry and leadership. And one of the things that they're looking forward to doing is not just winning on the field, but winning in life. And his model of successful coaching is how does their life turn out 20 years after they're on the field? So I think they're in great hands. We're very excited to see some new developments over at the Marietta district as well.
Well, if you aren't a football family like we are and you just want a little bit more low-key or not as crowded or just something different, there are options as well. There is local entertainment, Screen on the Green, Twisters, which is the new one, not the old one. That is PG-13. It's going to be Screen on the Green on the 14th, 7 to 9 p.m.
So that one's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. And I've seen this one. I really liked it, didn't you?
Oh, it was really good. They
did it well.
A lot of times when they do like remakes or they're continuing on with a series, it's not that great. But they did a lot of tie-ins to the first Twister, and a lot of the cinematography and the camera work had a lot of tie-ins to the original, but it was a very unique story, good take, and I would highly recommend it if you haven't seen it.
Yep. So there's also End of the Line, live music, and it's family-friendly, 7 to 9. Free admission, gates open at 6 p.m., the Art Place Marietta. Also, the fair is coming to town because school started. It's getting into that season.
Yeah.
And you think of the fair, right?
I can't wait for this.
It has a place in my heart, right? The fair.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Back when we were starting out as a young family, and I still think we're a young family, but we had a
young family.
Yeah. When we were in our early 30s, you got a chance to compete in the state fair with your quilting and canning and baking, and boy, did you pile up those ribbons, including one for our own son.
I baked them. You
baked them and put them into the Beautiful Baby contest where he came away as a blue ribbon baby.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to this. There's going to be carnival rides, fair food. As I've gotten older, I eat less funnel cake.
Oh, I knew it.
I do. I eat a whole lot less of it. When I was a kid, I used to love that stuff. Now I'm feeling my age sometimes with greasy food. But live music, animal shows, competitions. There's going to be special admission days for families, students, seniors, military, and educators. They're going to have monster trucks, bull riding, mutton busting, and demolition derby.
What is that?
Mutton busting is when kids are riding sheep, isn't it?
No.
I think I'm pretty sure that that's the sheep ride. All right, we'll confirm this. Hang on.
There's one thing that I haven't done at the state fair, and I want to do it this year. I have never stayed for the bull riding.
Oh, let's do it.
I've never done. I know.
Georgia's primary election is less than a year away, and the options for governor are becoming clear. Burt Jones is
bull
Texas
riding.
bringing us our straight gather.
It's gone where it's not.
Hang on, I'm going to have to cut that out, but this is mutton busting right here because I think the audio was picked up by the speaker.
It really is.
But this is mutton busting, and this is kids riding. Let me see if I can get one going here.
I get the idea. Oh my gosh, they're holding on for dear life with the...
So these kids are out there in full face masks, caged helmets, padding on, and they're just holding on to these sheep for dear life as they're riding around. This is absolutely hilarious, and I think we should try and schedule a day to go when this is happening too. If the bull riding's not on the same day, we definitely need to go to this.
Wow.
So looking forward to that. And while we're talking about local traditions, let's take a quick trip back in time for a bit of Cobb County history.
This is something I don't know.
So I wanted to do something a little bit different for the show. So I wanted to talk about some local history around here. And so this spotlight is going to be on Lost Mountain. And Lost Mountain actually comes from a Cherokee legend.
Okay.
So the chief's daughter vanished while hunting, and the mountain was named in her memory. This later became a rural community hub. There was a post office run from 1848 to 1902.
Okay.
And just the whole mountain is a reminder of Cobb's Native American heritage and our pioneer history.
Where exactly is Lost Mountain for people who don't know?
Lost Mountain is the smaller mountain close to Kennesaw. So hang on.
Did they find her?
No, she was never found. Let me see if I have the full thing here, just not the notes.
Permanently Lost Mountain.
Permanently Lost Mountain, exactly.
I don't think we'll find her.
I don't think we're going to find her, no. The whole story is right here. So, Lost Mountain is a neighborhood in northwest Cobb County. It takes its name from the legend, and according to the tale, a chief's daughter vanished while hunting near the summit. Overwhelmed with grief, he named the hill Lost Mountain. This is the place where she was last seen. The area later became Lost Mountain Crossroads when a post office was operated there till 1902. And the story blends the native heritage with Cobb's pioneer roots. So it's definitely one of those places here that is named after our roots. And we have all sorts of places like this. Shallowford Road, Hightower Trail,
Even
all of
Saltine
these.
and Coochie.
Yeah, exactly. So all of these are deep and filled with historical lore and part of our culture. So it's something that we should appreciate and just remind ourselves of as we're going about our normal drives. Whenever we pass streets named after this, there's some history there behind it.
Yeah. Well, hey, I did not know that. So thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. So from history to headlines, here's what's new in the Cobb County government this week. Cobb County has approved a $1.5 million land purchase for a new 911 call center. This is going to be at the intersection of Macland, Bullard, and Corner Road in Marietta. Mm-hmm. This is designed to modernize and improve emergency response services.
We know the Bullards.
We do know the Bullards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's lots of names on the streets around here, and there's actually the families that go with them. So, yeah. And finally, let's check in on what's happening in the housing market, both nationally and right here at home. Céline, do you want to go through our national statistics?
Well, it's changed, but not really. So we've been holding steady. Median sales price $443,462, and that's 1.4% higher year over year. The homes are definitely selling slowly, and there's more inventory. Just remember, though, we're in the summer. Things are a little bit more backlogged as well. More sales are closing below asking price. The mortgage rates are currently at 6.67%. It's the lowest since April, and refinancing activity is up. But of course, the refinancing is done by people who have higher than that as well, because then it wouldn't make sense. Buyers are getting more negotiating power, and we've seen that as well. So local to us in Georgia, that was national. So Georgia and Metro Atlanta, our median sales price is not $443,000, it is $426,000. And the days on market are up to 40 days on market before they get a contract. So the inventory growth is shifting towards a more balanced market here in Georgia, and that way sellers and buyers are having to meet in the middle to close a deal.
So let's go through some Cobb County specifics because that's kind of state and national. Cobb County is outperforming from FMLS's data. Cobb County is outperforming the market as a whole in Georgia. So the inventory right now is shifting into a buyer's market. For all property types, we're at a 5-month supply for Metro Atlanta. We haven't been that much inventory since we were in the Great Recession back 08 to kind of 14. And so Cobb County, while the whole market is at 5 months supply, Cobb County is at 3.8. Now, if you're in a townhouse, that's going to be a little bit more challenging because the inventory for attached housing is at 4.8 months supply. So there's a lot of condos and townhomes on the market relative to the number of buyers. But when we're looking at single family detached residential housing, we're at 3.5 months supply versus 4.7 months for the entirety of FMLS, while FMLS's attached housing is at 6.1. So we're looking like a buyer's market in much of Metro Atlanta, but you can see that in Cobb, where our inventory is closer to 3 months, that's kind of a balanced market. Over 3 months is a buyer's market. Under 3 months is kind of a seller's market. Generally speaking, every neighborhood is going to be different because real estate is hyper-local. You can have one neighborhood right next to another, and one neighborhood is selling while other homes are sitting. So if you're thinking about selling or you want to know what's happening in your neighborhood specifically, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always open to that conversation. But as far as the median sales price goes, FMLS, all of FMLS is hovering right at $412 for the month of July, and Cobb County is at $459,000. So we're outperforming there. Cobb County has seen a 2.1% increase in sales price year over year for the month of July, while FMLS has seen a 0.7% increase year over year. So Cobb County outperforming the market as a whole. You should be happy that you live here because it's a great place to live. And number of listings, we're really seeing a lot more inventory relative to the number of buyers that we're at. Cobb County was just about 7% year over year more listings than we had in 2024. FMLS, all of Metro Atlanta is at 9.4%. So we don't have as many homes hitting the market. That's because we have a higher price point. People turn their homes over less or churn their homes over less. So that's good to know. What's a little concerning is the number of closed and pending sales for the month of July. Cobb County was down 10% year over year. We only had 806 closings in the month of July. And then FMLS was down 7.5% year over year with 6,405 closings for the month of July. Interesting fact, the last time we had less than 6,600 closings in a summer was in July of 2012, where we had 6,045. July of 2013, we had about 6,600. So that kind of gives you a little bit of idea of what the market is like, what the temperature is in the room when you're negotiating on some of these homes right now. If the home is ready to sell, it's going fast. We're talking new systems, roof is less than 10 years old, and the house doesn't need any work, so you've handled all the deferred maintenance and you've got, fresh flooring and fresh paint throughout the house. Those are going quickly. Homes that require a little bit of work or some TLC, those are really struggling. Also, homes that have lots of competition. If there's lots of similar homes to you in the area that are for sale, it's a hard market. If your home is the only one like it and it has everything that the buyers want, then it's going to be a fairly easy sale. Valuations wise, we've seen some good numbers. We've talked to people that have they bought their home maybe 2 or 3 years ago. They're looking to sell now. They're still at a break-even point, which is good. We're able to acquire them at some good prices for them. But there's some challenges in the just in the market that everybody's facing right now. And hopefully we're going to see some movement with rates in the coming months based off of some of the articles that we're seeing on Bloomberg. A lot of people are now hedging in a 50 basis point cut coming in before the end of the year. So hopefully we'll see that movement happen. We got some positive CPI numbers out.
Completely different from 21.
Yeah.
2020.
Oh, yeah.
To even find a house for sale at that point was just crazy. But now it's definitely shifted.
Yeah, I mean, the rate is coming down. We've seen some good rates, I think sub 6 in certain areas. There's a lot of financing terms available to kind of help alleviate some of the higher prices and higher rates. But one of the things that really impacts the buyer, and a lot of people don't realize this because they're factoring in the payment, is the terms of the sale, right? As far as business goes, as far as real estate investing goes, there's an old saying, and that is, you don't make money when you sell the house, you make money when you buy the house. So when you're looking to buy, if you can target a house that needs a little work and some TLC, maybe update the systems, then by the time you're ready to sell and you have that work done, you're going to make a lot more money on that property because you're going to get the equity in the buying for getting a discount on a house that needs a little bit of work. And then you're also going to get the equity appreciation from doing that work and adding value to the house. So it can be a good play if you're in the financial position to afford the payment every month. If you're not, then just do what you can to save up. Right now, we're getting a lot of closing costs paid for the buyer, so they're coming out of pocket less to buy the house.
Yeah, there are a lot of programs too. And so realize that whenever this climate shifts, these officials in government or even private companies will offer incentives. And the incentives are something that you can take advantage of. Say you have to move for a job or another child coming and you just don't have any space, then what do? Look into some of these programs because they're out there, and they might be fairly new as well because they weren't needed 2-3 years ago, but now that they are, so they have been created and people just haven't heard about it yet. So give us a call. We do know about a few of these. It depends on where you're looking and with whom, and we can guide you in that right direction. Not all is lost, even though we have not as bright numbers as we did 3 years ago. That's okay. There are other things, as long as you feel comfortable with the monthly payment. That is key.
Exactly. There are still plenty of buyers out there. There is a discrepancy. I think there was an article that came out from Redfin last week that said that there's about 500,000 fewer buyers than there are sellers in the nation right now. I think there's like something close to 2 million sellers across the U.S., and we have about 1.5 million buyers across the U.S. based off of their statistics and data.
It correlates with what we're seeing as well.
Yeah, so we're seeing that there's a buyer for about 2/3 of the homes. So it can be challenging. There's plenty of ways that you can navigate these waters. One is you can consider talking to a full service agent who knows what they're doing and they know the market and they stay on top of it. That is a service we offer if you want to have that call with us. Also, you can look into programs like simplylist.atlanta.com where you can do a lot of the work yourself to save on that commission. while still having an agent who can help you through the contract process, it's been very successful for a lot of our clients. We also have a plan where you can do all the work yourself, but still have access to the MLS for advertising your property, getting it in front of all the buyers on all of the major public portals, and still looking like it's a professional listing with representation. You just get to save a lot of money while doing that. So if you're in the market for that, you want to learn more, you can go to either hshbrands.com and see all of our offerings, from our commercial side to our Simply List and our full service Select Realty side, or you can go to simplylistatlanta.com, learn about our for sale by owner and limited service, or selectrealty.com for our full service lineup. It's what we do day to day. This is our passion project to talk about our community, and from all of this, I think Cobb County is standing in a good place right now. I had a call with a past client last night. They've had some kids go off to college, so they're thinking about downsizing and relocating, just to make it easier on their commute with kids' activities for those who don't have cars now. And for them, our game plan was that they're going to work on replacing the last of the systems that the house needs, and hopefully by this spring, they're going to be on the market. But we bought in the middle of 23, so it's about 2 years, maybe a little bit less. And they can probably walk away and break even today. But the goal is not to break even, so we're going to wait until the spring on that listing. And these are the conversations that we have. I even told him, I said, look, I'd love to get your sale and get this listing and add another sale to our goal for the year. But you know what? It may not be the right time because of what's going on right now. These are what I think you should do. And let's take the next 6 months to do those before we talk about bringing the home to the market. Mm-hmm. It was in the best interest of the client, so that's the direction we recommended, so that next year, hopefully they'll walk away with a much bigger number than they would today.
I agree.
All right. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to talk strategy. Reach out at selectrealty.com, or you can just shoot me an email, broker@selectrealty.com. That's BROKER at select with 2 L's, SELLECT realty.com. All right. So we've had a busy week. We've got an experience, a lot of what our community has to offer with Treetop Quest, joining the mountain biking team, going down to Soap Creek and riding a bunch. We've got our great East Cobb Teacher of the Year who's going to be representing us at Georgia Teacher of the Year. And football is back. I can't wait.
Sounds so good.
Yeah.
Don't forget, subscribe, like us, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.